All right.
Schulford reporting from North Carolina. I was riding on a bus from Butte, Montana to North Carolina, when I met a young man all dressed up in full and impressive Army Ranger uniform. He carried his .445 mag gun and many knives and several phones and military backpack and other equipment. He told me he was a staff sergeant from Fort Lewis. Fort Lewis is where many modern guillotines have been stored for a long time, for use in martial law. I teased him at first and told him I knew all about the modern guillotines in Fort Lewis. He was shocked. He said, "How did you know? This is highly classified information." I told him that the U.S. military was not telling the young man like him, but these guillotines will be used on Americans and Christians in the future under martial law, to behead all New World Order resistors. The longer he listened, the angrier he got. Using a few choice expletives, he said, "They never told us this would be used on Americans under martial law, to get rid of all Christians and New World Order resistors. We thought they would be used in Iraq or something." He then asked me to tell him more and more. Finally, so angry at how they were being deceived and brainwashed, he told me, "I will never go along with this New World Order agenda. I am a Christian. I will contact my men in my platoon, 64, and those I can trust who are Christians. I will tell them the truth." I was supposed to go to Fort Hood for more special ops training next week, and then return to train my men in how to operate these guillotines. There is a special underground training center where the guillotines are. We are not allowed to bring in any cameras, cell phones, etc., because of high security and silence regarding these guillotines. They are 6.5 feet high, with hand restraints and a place for a person's head as they stand. We were going to use dummies for practice, but now I am refusing this assignment, and I will contact the men under me who I can trust, who will not go along with this NWO agenda, and will come out instead with Humvees, weapons and everything we can get our hands on to fight this New World Order agenda. We parted him the next day.
Alright, so let's talk about guillotines, alright, in America, alright. The truth is you're going to begin hearing story after story on how death row inmates no longer, there are complications in their deaths, and it's inhumane to kill them. Matter of fact, in that manner anymore. So there was something happening in Georgia, and the electric chair went bad, and somehow that videotape got loose, okay, and it showed how bad it was. And then recently, just yesterday, today is May 1st, and yesterday there was a story on how injections went bad, and this guy suffered during the injections. So no longer is electrocution allowed, and now they're frowning on ejections, okay? And so you're going to hear more and more about that. And so what we've realized is the government has bought 30,000 guillotines, alright? So the question really is we know that in the end times Christians will be hunted down, and we know in the end times Christians will be beheaded for the faith, okay? But what are you going to do with 30,000 guillotines? Where does that number come from? Okay? Why would you need 30,000 of them? So I started looking. Alright, so how many FEMA camps are there in the United States? Reality. The reality is we figured out a number of approximately 800 guillotines. Well, that still don't make up for 30,000 guillotines, right? So how many prison systems are? How many major prisons are in the United States? How many?
More than I can count.
1,200. So
that's just in the U.S.?
That's just in the United States, because right
no, there's more than that.
No, there's 1,200. I looked it up.
Did you really?
I really did. Yeah.
There's 1,200.
There's 1,200, but that still don't account for 30,000 guillotines. Why would we need a number of 30,000? Okay. Now here's a shocking statistics for you. All right. Here's what we do have in common with 30,000. How many cities are in the United States?
How many cities are in the United States?
How many cities are in the United States? I'll have to give you one guess, and I don't think you're going to need one. There are 30,000 cities in the United States.
So now, every city will get a gallows.
Every city is going to get a gallows. So every city with the police force that's been militarized since 1980 is going to get a gallows. So not only are they going to be your police and your
Russia Army or whatever,
the militia army, but now they're going to be your executioner as well. I mean, the reality is just too scary to think of. But that is the mindset of whoever is behind what is going on. Okay? So, we know the truth. We're putting the puzzles together. And the Bible is right. Once you see it coming, it's going to be too late for you to even run and grab your coat out of the house and run for the hills. Okay? And we're used to living in less. You know, Heath and I, we can pack up and we can live out in the woods.
I don't need anything.
We don't need anything, you know. We don't even need a knife or nothing. We know how to make rocks, fire, whatever we need to do, we can do it. Alright? So, if you're going to threaten to take away my life, my freedom, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because you can't stop us from spreading the truth. Alright? So I want y'all to have a blessed week. I want you to check out this video and be blessed in it, and know that trust God. You need to trust God.
Yes, you
in
do.
These end times. You need to have Christ in your life, because I don't care if I get beheaded. All right,
for
my
faith.
either. Because I'm not going to turn away from Jesus. I'm not going to do it.
Not going to do it.
Because the lake of fire is still the lake of fire. You know, it's not going. You might save yourself in the moment and denying Him, but you ain't going to have but 13 years left once all that starts to hit the fan anyway. So 13 years of life and freedom, or an eternity of lake and fire. I mean, I am not going to deny Christ.
Me either.
And neither should you. And so